So, I'm working on a Templar related project right now, and that means I need a lot of Templars, like 8 of them or something, which isn't the topic of this video, but it did lead me to, or basically lead me into a rabbit hole regarding Templar leveling, and I'm a bit obsessed with that right now. And I'm trying a lot of different things because I need a lot of Templars for reasons. And I came across, or basically used that opportunity to get really better at Templar leveling and trying a bunch of different things. And with leveling, I mean the actual leveling part, right? As well as the early progression in a League Starty scenario. So like the first few days of progression, maybe 5 days, up to a week or something, depending on what you play. But like these really early League Starty progression things. And this is one of them. And that one actually surprised me. It's not my idea. It's I took it from jungroan, and I link his video and also the POB. Or basically I linked the video and there is a POB in there. And it's a special one, honestly, because he actually put some notes into the POB, which he never does, which is really interesting. So yeah, if you want to look at that, look at this content, not my idea. But I wanted to highlight it because I think it's a really, really interesting character. I'm going to show you gameplay in a minute, but I need to put some context of this fresh character. Other than that, it doesn't make sense. What this is a called DoT RF Inquisitor, which is weird. I mean, that's why it catched my interest, because it's just odd to have these two things. But on the other hand, I mean, Righteous Fire, in its purest form, to be honest, it's a link, isn't it? Like a global link, because it has like 73 in this case, because it's not leveled yet, more spell damage. So I mean, why not, right? It's like perfect. So that's really funny, and it turned out so cool. We can talk about the benefits later, but so it's like basic tree, and we're gonna have a look at that after gameplay. But the character itself right now, it's level 77, so I did a little bit of early mapping already. And the gear is really bad. Like, I actually need to show you that the gear is truly bad. I do have an Immortal Flash, a pretty well-rolled one, so that maybe is not like a day one thing. Or maybe it is, depends. But I bought that one. I have this shield that might be a bit over the top, to be honest, because I had like +1 max res and a tier 2 minion damage mod. So I don't know, maybe that one, I also bought that one. Everything else is just really essence crafted. Like, I'm gonna hover over it. It's just actually terrible, but self-crafted with essences. I kept this as a 5 link. I just bought that one. That's Reforge defense, I believe, and yeah, crafted mods. And yeah, that's kind of a special mod, but you can farm them even during campaign already. That's what I did this league even. That's why I have these crafts. So I think they're fair. What's also a little bit expensive is the cold exposure on hit. Depending on how quickly you roll it, that can be a bit expensive on like the first days. But other than that, it's really, really cheap gear. So even the rings barely. Is the amulet? Nothing on the amulet either. So that's fine. In terms of like defense or stats, what I'm really missing still, like definitely missing, that's where I didn't get yet, is the armor value is still very, very low. That would need to be improved, especially towards red maps. And life regen is already pretty fine. It's like 1.1k unless this 4-second thing procs. And I have 0 spell suppression. So armor and spell suppression is missing, and obviously by improving a bit of the gear and the gems and something, it would get significantly more damage as well. I POB'd it to boards where I find it realistic towards like 2 million to 3 million DPS, more like 2 million probably, which is still very, very cheap, because I want a character that can play for a few days and be able to farm most stuff without needing to put any effort into it, basically. I don't want to spend money on this character. I want this character to do specific things and be able to do currency, so I can fund a very different character afterwards. And so that's very important that it has this breakpoint, but like 2-3 million DPS is perfectly fine to get your watchstones and everything. So yeah, it's an actually terrible character, and it already, like, I'm gonna go into tier 7 here. It's surprising how well it plays, and how good the damage feels. Obviously, it's not a crazy blasting character, right? I mean, I get that. But just baseline feeling is really surprisingly good. Obviously, I'm gonna lack defense at some point here, but I mean, just remind you of the gear here and being level 77. I mean, there's also nothing. I mean, I don't have any like jewels or anything, and this is only a tier 7 map. I mean, I do get that, but it feels so good. And the same during leveling. We can talk about that afterwards. It mostly feels good. It's still a jungroan build, so it has some some weirdness to it, right? So you basically, I mean, it feels like RF, but with chill, right? It's for like a bit tougher monsters, and yeah, you're kind of using cold snap, which gives you frenzy charges, which is kind of cool. You even have this like malevolence to turn on, and yes, you have to double curse yourself. Maybe let's click this essence here if I somehow get to it. But, I mean, you rarely do that anyway, right? Only if you're hitting some bigger things, right? Like this. Then maybe, yeah, you press some buttons and you also have your creeping thrust. And sure, it's not instantly killing these things, but at this like level of gearing, everything, it just feels really, really good. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, I mean, that's yellow map, which is more appropriate now because I said I don't have enough armor yet. I need to get that up. Get to like improve my gear, and I do not have spell suppression yet, which is fine. You can also have a look at the red map, because even on that damage numbers, I believe I imported the character as it is with the gear and not level gems and everything. It's only like 500,000, I believe, on paper, but it feels good enough. Even if I go into red maps, which I wouldn't run like this. I would stay probably in yellow maps for a hot second and get some spell suppression up so I don't randomly die all the time. That would be really cool. But other than that, I mean, if this is like my day 1 red map damage with that level of gear, I mean, I'm fine with this. And I don't know why I'm so surprised. It feels really good. I'm super happy with that. This. Am I crazy? Did I spend too much time leveling on bad characters that I'm surprised now, or is that so much better than it should be? I mean, maybe you tell me. Maybe I don't know. I have something equipped that I shouldn't have or something. But that seems pretty fine. What's this boss? Is that like a quick one? We can. Oh no, it's like a forever boss. Okay, let's not do the forever boss. But yeah, that's kind of the point. I think that sells it, at least for me, as a potentially really surprisingly good, cool starter. And I feel like I would almost play this over a RF starter, like a pure RF Inquisitor. I would probably go pure RF Inquisitor if I wanted to go like further with the character, right? If I wanted to take it for longer. But that's not what I want. What I need these characters for is to be like just a few days, maybe up to a week, if I can't afford other things. So it's just able to farm basic red tier maps, maybe do some low tier essence farm, depending what I want. So yeah, and for that it seems really, really good and incredibly cheap. And if you're in softcore trade or something, you can even get a 6-link, right? Not hard, get like a corrupted 6-link and have just some evasion ES on your chest. That's it. That should be easy to get, and or just get a better chest and then just let it be a 5-link. That's okay. You can have more fist taking as here. So I mean, it's easy enough to do. So yeah. Also doing leveling, it was really smooth. It was really good. I had some hiccups with let's get a G for that. With Righteous Fire. Right, so basically the basic idea is you go up here and then you obviously do the two-handed stuff, right? So it's really quick leveling, the two different weapon thing and leap slam, things like that. And you go this node here, the one regenerate 1 life per second for each 1% uncapped fire resistance. And I did keep this. I did not respec down here. I kept this until I slept on Immortal Flash somewhere in maps. I only bought this in maps. I didn't level with this. I leveled it completely as itself. I swapped these out. Before that, I kind of needed this still, I feel like, but I also didn't have any regen on my equipment, and I put vitality a bit late, I feel like. So yeah, I mean, there's optimization to be done, but the reality was that obviously very early, Righteous Fire was okay by taking ruby rings, like this typical thing, right? Take this node, take 2 ruby rings, craft fire resistance on them, which is always a bit annoying to do if you need to do that, because your resistance balancing, everything gets a little bit off if your rings are so, you know, so entrenched into the fire res thing. Once I had it, it was fine. Was totally okay and very, very manageable. I didn't need to use my life flask almost ever. That was really fine. Swapping then over to cold DoT made it a little bit harder again, because you're using vortex. Obviously, that's later a bit of an issue. The time when you get your past path, and you can actually go mind over matter, Eldritch Battery. That's like where it gets really good again. The point where it was kind of bad or a bit clunky, it's not bad, it's a bit clunky, is starting Act 6. Because you might not have all that much regen at that point, depending on how much fire res you get, what's on your gear, how much life you have, because you don't have all that much percentage regen. Do I even have any somewhere here, like something like this? I mean, you're not going to have that at that point. This regenerate percentage of your like max life, you don't have all that much of it on this tree here. So that means if you get like kind of lucky with your life rolls and you get a lot of life, then you might degen again. So you might be just before you kill Kitava already in a okay spot, or is very slightly degenning, and then on top of that the minus res from Kitava hits towards Act 6 there. So that's a bit annoying, to be fair. Plus you're using vortex, which cuts into your life maybe again because of this. You use life nodes, so it's a bit it's a bit difficult. But then again, as soon as you do the second lap and you are able, you get mind over matter and you reach Eldritch Battery and have path. Starting from there, it's super smooth again. So there's like this in between where you're actually degenning and you're keeping yourself alive with 2 life flasks, and you have like one that is not instant, right? And you kind of have to press that. So that can be a bit annoying, but it was fine. It was really fine. It was very smooth. Obviously, damage during leveling was really good and very comfy. Doesn't one-shot bosses, sure, but damage is really good. And as you, I mean, I've seen there, damage is really, really fine. I mean, we can wait for this boss while we're talking, but it's so comfy. And again, this is like a tier 12 map. I mean, this is a red tier map, isn't it? Am I crazy? Look at even the modifiers. Do they have some live modifiers? No. It just works really well. Very happy with that. Cool. I'm starting to ramble already, but just wanted to get that out there, that I can highly recommend that. I mean, if you're looking for starty things, you like leveling as well, or you just have this on your mind for next league maybe, in case this still works. And I'm gonna go and level my next Templar now, and it's probably going to be a Guardian with SRS. I've seen an interesting PUB for it, so I don't have to make my own, which is really cool. So I'm gonna try that, and always wanted to play some SRS anyway. And also keep in mind, little tip, and because I'm gonna take some time until I level that thing, probably next days, you might want to try out this new Guardian minion, this fancy one, because who knows when it goes away. It might as well just not be there next league, and I've heard it really slaps and it's like an extra RF. So yeah, maybe give that a shot, just in case it gets super nerfed next league. So you're not a sad panda that missed out on the funny Super Saiyajin Guardian thing, minion guy there, right? Cool. Bye.